Again, I disagree with you, because when something is illegal, you can go to jail for doing it. It's illegal to kill, it's illegal to rape, it's illegal to steal. Being in a same-sex relationship is not illegal. So I think it's not as a matter of semantics. I actually think you're just using the wrong terminology.
No, you're using the wrong terminology. You're saying being in a same-sex relationship is not illegal. No, it's not. But being married in certain states is illegal.
Remember, friend, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And certainly not Madam and Eve. I want to lighten it up. You've heard the expression, hate the sin, love the sinner. It's a decent bumper sticker, and it used to kind of annoy me, but I'm warming to it because we have come to this place where to be politically correct and to appear merciful or loving or tolerant, that many of our religious leaders in our congregations as well have simply caved in regarding marriage. Now, the evangelical world has spearheaded much of the resistance to the so-called homosexual marriage movement. But the resistance is weakening, and that poor, lost group of people, God loved them, I love them, they are made in the image of God, Jesus died for them, and that's the sin that they're struggling with, okay? We all struggle with sin, we are all sinners, right? But that poor, lost group of people have made incredible strides. The Supreme Court struck down the Defense of Marriage Act. I think about a half a dozen states now, mostly through their courts, have said that to forbid two people of the same gender to be married is unconstitutional. This is absurd on its face. It's absurd on its face. And if you have to try and reason with people whose intellect is so sullied by perverse ethics, well, there's no reasoning with them. But the story behind the story, the bigger story, is that multiculturalism, pluralism, tolerance, relevance, where you have, there's no such thing as right and wrong, humanism, that these philosophies have so worn down the leaders of our denominations, the professors in our seminaries, and therefore our pastors, that we have lost our ability, many of our congregations, I should say, not all of them, have lost the ability to simply resist this evil and to condemn it as evil. Publicly, politely, but vigorously. With compassion, yes. You can say to somebody who's a drug addict, I'm so sorry. This is so tragic. But you don't change the rules and say, no, cocaine addiction is great, man. I support you in that lifestyle choice. I'm standing with you. And if it makes you happy, I will stand with you. You just don't do that. And that's what's at stake here. It's not that people are committing a sin, and that's sad because it's part of our human nature. It's that we're changing the rules and saying it's not sin. It's normal. We're going to normalize it. We're going to force our little kids to accept it. We're going to teach it in our elementary schools and in our middle schools. And ultimately, it's going to come down to what maybe they have up in Canada, some people fear, that there'll be hate speech laws. And that's what's really funny about the Duck Dynasty people. Everyone says, we want tolerance. A&E said, we want tolerance for the LBGT or whatever it is, the BLT, I don't know, it's not a sandwich, the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender movement. They cry out for tolerance, but when someone says, no, I disagree with that, then they drop the hammer and they say, we won't be tolerant of you. The masters of tolerance are the tyrants of intolerance. So the question we must face is, will we fear God more or man more? Will we love God more? Or will we have a false love and a false charity that we show to people that are trapped in a behavior that may cost them their eternal soul? I mean, that's scary stuff, people. So my encouragement to you as we go into this new year, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. stand with our Lord Jesus, stand with God, stand with the scriptures, stand with the historic Christian religion, and stand with Duck Dynasty in defense of marriage.